When I ask a question, everyone tells me to look into vanilla code. But I don't know how to do it, where to begin. How should I find what I want? How should I read the code? Where are the important things inside vanilla structure? These are the questions that we will answer in this video. Hello everyone, this is Ali Reza. Welcome to the Mentor Code Lab. When you start your journey as a programmer, especially for modding Minecraft, there are times that you have questions, you go into the forums, you ask them, and people tell you that you should look into vanilla code for this or that. There are few ways of finding the things that you want and you need, and in this video we will cover all of them. The very first thing that you can do is that at any time in your own project, when you are dealing with something special, for example, an item, if you want to look how vanilla is dealing with a sword item, for example, you can simply middle mouse click on the sword item. It will get you to the source of Minecraft for the sword item directly, or alternatively, you can hit right mouse click and choose go to, and then either go to here you will find a go to or implementation or declaration, one of these three. There is go to, implementation, or declaration. In this special case, we don't find the go to submenu. However, if we go into implementation, it will again get us to where the sword item is implemented, either in our mod or net Minecraft item. And we can choose that, and this is equivalent of hitting that middle mouse click. Farther down the road, I see that sword item is extending tool item, so middle mouse click on tool item, and we can take a look at the source code of Minecraft for tool item. It extends item. If we want to, we can middle mouse click on item, and we find ourselves in the item class, and we see that this is the base class that just implements some interfaces. So we can now move our way from this base class level by level until we find everything that we need. We should read the Java docs, we should take a look at the structures and find the methods and whatever we need. When we are looking at a class like item class and we want to see how Minecraft is dealing with something, for example, the get mining speed, we should sit back and read the code line by line. If we didn't understand something here, we can go back into the forums and ask people that, hey, I was looking at the item class, I was reading this method, what is the use case of this method, or what is this line of code meaning? Please someone help me. And these are the questions that will be answered really fast. The other way to find something that you don't know where to look for. In this case, we had a sword that was extending the sword item. However, if there is something that we don't know where to look for, hit the shift key twice and it will open this search window. Checkmark this include non-project items. And now we can search, for example, for coal. And anytime that coal is addressed inside our project or the external libraries will be listed here. And we can search and find whatever we want in this way. For example, if I want to look at fluid variant and I don't know where I should find it, as I'm typing, it's already finding it. Fluid variant is an interface from net Fabric MC, Fabric API Transfer version 1 Fluid. So I didn't know where to look for fluid variant. I just know that I need to look at fluid variant. Now let's open this. And now let's say that we read the Java doc. We found everything here, but we want to see an example of fluid variant. We can right mouse click, find usages, and this will take us into the usage window under more tools. We can see this find, and it says that we didn't find anything, as you see. If you see something like this, that it opened the find window and it's empty, it means that it's looking into your own project. Here is find options, or alternatively, Control Shift Alt F7. Or if you open this window, you can say that look at all places. and hit find. Now it will search both your project and any external library, and it will find everything. Here, it categorizes things based on different criteria. For example, class static member access. Things are accessing the static members of this class. Or field declarations, or usage in import, usage in extends implements, usage in comments, type parameters, method return type, and blah, blah, blah. So I, for example, can open this one and I see that water potion storage is actually extends or implements fluid type. I can open it inside this subsection of this arrow. I can double click on the line and it will open the class for me with the line already being selected. So I can see now that water potion storage implements extraction only storage of type fluid variant and single slot storage of type fluid variant. That's maybe what I need. If you want to find an implementation of something that is a fluid variant extension, you should search in this find window and look at different classes, different lines, and everything that says net fabric means that it's inside external libraries. For example, this is a Fabric API. This is for architecture because we are depending our project, our architecture, because we want to depend and make compatibility for REI. If I want to look at a vanilla use case or fabric use case, of course, these two are not the places I want to look at. I'm looking for anything that says Fabric API or Minecraft merged. Let's take a look if we can find anything related to Minecraft. And of course, we don't, because fluid variant is something that is produced by Fabric API. Either one of these Fabric API calls are the things that we should take a look to find more information about fluid variant. However, there are times that we know that we are dealing with something special. And we know that this is, for example, a block, or this is an item, or this is a potion. Where can we find the source of the vanilla Minecraft code? If we open the external library, we look for Gradle net Minecraft Minecraft-merged. This is the source of Minecraft. However, at first glance, it will be overwhelming. And if, for example, you look at this hierarchy and you open especially something like block, you see tons of classes under the block, and it can become confusing where to look for to find something. Because of that, I made a mock-up project folder structure. This project is the Java tutorial from the Java tutorial series. However, let's say that this Minecraft source is exactly this top level. So under the Gradle, the very first folder structure that you see is this Minecraft source. We see assets, data, net, and this is a mock-up subfolder structure that I made to make things a little bit more organized. And from this moment forward until the end of the video, I will move folder by folder, structure by structure, and talk a little bit about the most important classes, interfaces, and folders that you should keep in mind for the rest of your life as a mod developer. The very first one is assets. Assets is all about JSONs and textures, so you can find block states, models, and textures. Particles, if you want to make your own particles. Block states are related to your blocks and they are JSON files. Models is your custom models and they are again JSON files. Textures, however, is all about PNG files that you make as a texture and you put inside different subfolders for blocks, effects, entity, GUI or GUI, item, and models. Now, we all know how to use block and item. We had seen it in previous videos. However, the effect is the icon that is being shown on the HUD or HUD when you have a special effect. For example, the night vision icon. So if you want to have your own effect and you want to put it somewhere, this is the place for it. Also, entity is related to any entity that you have. These are not block entities. We are talking about mobs, about throwable projectiles, things like that. GUI is all about the user interface. So if you open a machine and you want to show something as a GUI, this is where you should put all your textures. Models are the textures related to special things like armors and different things that you can find. And the best way to understand what is going on here is again to open this main asset, go to Minecraft and textures and of course models. And here you can see that we have armor alone. So there is a subfolder called armor, and this is where you will see that the main texture of any armor is sitting inside Minecraft. Moving out of the assets, we have the data folder. Data folder is all about things that we generate up until now inside DataGen, but you can manually copy a JSON file, tweak it, and put it under these subfolders. For example, if you want your own custom dimension type, or custom enchantment, or enchantment provider, or a loot table, recipe, take note, this is changed. In previous versions, it was recipes. There was an S at the end. Few of these had plural names. Mojang had changed it in 1.21 and now they became singular names like recipes, structure, loot table, enchantment. However, the tags still remains plural. And finally, under WordGen, you will find biome, configured feature, placed feature, structure, structure set. Now, there is a folder called data pack here. I didn't add it into this mockup because in my opinion, when you are developing your mod, most of the time you are coding. Data pack development is totally different thing. However, I had seen some people that packaged their data packs and presented it as a mod so that they just put it inside the mods folder once and they don't need to copy it inside different saves, and that is how they do that. Now, the main structure is under net Minecraft. This is all coding in Java. Of course, the blocks are all about blocks. Commands are the commands you will find inside Minecraft. Enchantments is self-explanatory. Entity, we will take a look at that. Fluid is all about water, lava, or any other fluid. Remember, we already showed you that fluid types and fluid transfer API is a fabric API, so you won't find it under this Minecraft structure. Inventory is all about different inventories in the game. Item, self-explanatory. Network is all about communicating between server and client. Recipe, of course, it's all about recipes. And registry is one of the most important ones that is being constantly used to register different things into the Minecraft core using our mod loaders. Screen is all about GUIs, structure, self-explanatory, and Word. If we take a look now, because we have some subfolders, in Word you will find biome, dimension, and chunk. Remember, there are more folders, there are more classes. These are the important things that you should always keep in mind, that they are there as an entry point. And we will talk about entering into the vanilla code with an example or two a few minutes later. So biomes, chunk, and dimension. Under registry, the most important classes are registries, registry codecs, and registry keys. Please go and read those classes and take a look at the Java docs and what they present to you. Under recipe, we have abstract cooking recipe, blasting recipe, crafting recipe interface, ingredient, recipe interface, recipe type interface, shaped recipe, shapeless recipe, smelting recipe, smithing recipe, interface, and smoking recipe. These are the most important things that are distributed among many other classes in the recipe folder. Under network, we have a folder called codec. Please take a look at that. We have a folder called listener. These are all the message listeners that we have in game. We have a message folder. every message type and packet types, all sitting inside folders under network. Under the item, we have more classes, interfaces, and few enums and a record. Armor item, of course, self-explanatory. Armor material is a record and then being used for armor materials. You had seen the use case in the videos. Arrow item, axe item, block item, hoe item, the base item class, item group, and then implementation of item groups of vanilla, items, item stack, mace item, mining tool item, pickaxe item, potion item, projectile item. This is an interface. Shears item, shield items, shovel item, spawn egg item, splash potion item, sword item, throwable potion item, tool item, and then tool material is an interface and tool materials is an enum. The interesting thing is that armor material is a record and armor materials is a class. However, tool material is an interface and tool materials is an enum. This is changed in recent version of Minecraft. So there is a chance that in future we see a change inside tool material and tool materials to mimic what happened inside armor material. Keep that in mind. Inventory, we have crafting inventory, inventories, inventory interface, sided inventory interface, and simple inventory. For fluids, we have fluid abstract class and fluids class. For entity, we have different folders that are really important if you want to make your own mob or passive entity. The AI, a boss mob, or a mob, a passive mob. Now these are animals, these are things like zombies, skeleton, etc. The player entity and projectiles. Enchantments, we have enchantments cluster, and under block we have few different things like entity folder. These are block entities related to blocks, abstract block, abstract chest block, abstract furnace block, abstract rail block, abstract redstone gate block, like comparator, for example. Block entity provider, blocks, block with entity, connecting block, inventory provider, oxidizable portal, water loggable. Now remember, the abstract ones are abstract classes, blocks is a class, and other than that, the other ones are interfaces. Now let's see what are the easiest entry points inside some special cases. Every time that you see a plural name, like blocks, enchantments, fluids, inventories, items, registries, registry keys, registry codex, these are your main entry points. Because if I, for example, open the block folder, and if I find that blocks class, I can see every block registering inside Minecraft, as you see. For example, block air, block stone, granite, polished granite, and anything else. So here, for example, I can hit choosing, clicking inside the source, I can now hit Control F and search for anything I want. For example, a furnace. And I can find how the furnace is being registered. For example, now I see that it's registering as a furnace block. Now I can middle mouse click and use the very first approach I taught you in this video and move down the road and read everything. Another example is items. Now let's give you a practical example. Later in our series, we will have a block that I want to right-click the block with a blaze rod in my hand, and things should happen and the blaze rod in my hand should be used. Or it can be blaze powder, it doesn't matter. You want to click on a block and the item in your hand should be used. This is the idea, this is the concept. Now, how can I implement it? Let's say that the functionality of the block is already written. The only thing that I'm looking at and I want to find is how to use the item in my hand and get rid of it. We should sit back and think, do we have any example working in Minecraft as a vanilla mechanic? I have an example that comes to my mind, and that is using Eye of Ender on a portal to the end, the portal frame block. Okay, so I have two entries here. One is the nPortal block, and the other one is the Eye of Ender item, because these two are interacting to each other and the code should sit in one of them. If I open the item folder and I find items class, clicking inside the items class, Control F, and I want the eye because I don't know what's the name it is. Okay, let's find the proper eye. Spider eye, here we go. Ender eye. And it's implementing Ender eye item. Middle mouse click. This is a small class. However, if it was any bigger class, the easier way to find anything is to open this structure, or if it's not there, hit Alt 7, or you can alternatively come into View, Tools, and the structure. Opening the structure, whenever I'm inside any class, it will show everything related to that class in a list. For example, these are the constructor and few methods. If I go into items, for example, I can see the constructor or the registry method. I can see the register method, different fields that are being registered. And if there are any methods, I may find some extra methods down the road. However, it did list the methods on top for me. And keep in mind, you can sort them alphabetically or show the fields or non-publics, anything else. You have flexibility here to filter and sort your structure window. Okay, let's go back to the item class and we can see a use or use on block. I want the use on block. Thankfully, it was the first one. Now it's time to sit back and read this code and see if we can find anything there. And we don't need to understand everything. We just see that, okay, it's caching the word, a block pose, block state, and then it is checking it's not nPortal frame or anything pass. Okay, if we are client success, here is the bulk section of it. We want to see if it has an eye in it or not, because now we are sure that we are clicking on a portal frame. We want to see if that portal frame had an eye in it or not. And then, okay, push entities up. We can see a look at that, but I think it's related to blocks. It's not what we want. Set block state is not what we want. Update comparators, no. Context get stack, decrement amount 1. That is exactly what we want. That single line of code. Context.getStack.increment 1. Basically, it's reducing 1 from the item stack in our hand that we are using it. Okay, we found our code. However, let's say that we didn't start with the eye. Let's say that we thought it may happen in the block, and we want to take a look at the block. So blocks, Control F, and we are looking for anything that is frame, nPortal frame. It's new nPortal frame block. And this is one of those classes that it's better to look at the structure here. We see that it has nothing that helps us because we were looking at something that is use or use on block or something like that. It should have a name called use. Okay, so this is the constructor getting the codec, has-sided transparency, get outline shape, comparator, rotate mirror, append properties, get completed frame. So it has nothing that guides us on what happens if something is using this block. And that is exactly when we know that, okay, this is not the place to look for it. And as I said, we assume that this was our first approach. It failed. Now the other side was the items. It gets us a successful result. And things are the same for anything else that you want to take a look at vanilla. Either use the mouse click or use double shift tapping, include non-projects, or find the usage, or if you know your entry point, look at your entry points and try to figure things from there. If you like these videos, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and turn on that bell so that when I publish a new video, you will get informed. Have fun, everyone. Bye.